Hey guys, so this is about where I left you last time. We were working on coloring our drawing, our humongous drawing, of course, and I'm going to work on finish coloring mine, taking my time, getting it just right, you know what I mean, and we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be a watercolor painting. What, Mr. P? That's right. We're going to use watercolors and we're going to actually paint on top of what we've already done. I went ahead and colored my face yellow because that kind of matches what I got here in the stripes. Hey, why not? And then the wings. Now, I tell you what I did. I know you can't really see anything on the wings, but I used the white. The white, and that's gonna, I think that's going to illustrate very well what happens when you have wax, crayon, and you try to watercolor on top of it. I think it's going to illustrate it very, very well, okay? All right, so we have 2 containers of water and the watercolor paints themselves. Now, one of these containers needs to stay with clean water in it, okay? The other needs to be the one that you use to clean your brush. Right now, these watercolor, I guess you can call them cakes, the little squares, well, you can't do nothing with them because there's no water. Like, I can do this all day and nothing will happen. Look, all day, nothing will happen. Nothing happening. Why is nothing happening? Because there's no water. Yeah, so let's get your brush wet. And it'd be helpful if this was the clean water bucket now. We're gonna call this the clean water bucket. All right, and now we get a little bit of water actually on the little cake, right? Get a little bit of water on the little cake. Now we see the orange starting to come on the brush. Look at that. Orange are actually on the brush. So when I actually start, I'm gonna paint over all of it, but you're gonna see something really crazy. Look at there. It's not soaking in like it did on the regular paper. On the regular paper, it's soaked in really well. Look at there, it paints it really easy, really well, but where the actual wax is from the crayon is resisting it. It's like saying, we're not gonna get painted on the day. That's exactly what that's what's happening. It's no. It says no. It says no. It says no. It's like when you have the wax on there, the crayon, it's almost like a raincoat for that part of the paper. The water, which now has the paint in it, isn't going to affect that part of your paper. I know, it's kind of crazy, right? Let me clean my brush over here, and I'm going to go to purple. Do a little bit of purple. Why not? So I'm going to get purple a little bit on there, and then I'm going to start painting with purple on this side. Oh, look at that. It resisted it. It resisted it. It said, So we're going to do it again, get a little bit more. It's really cool. It's not even kind of cool. It's just like really cool how that happened. Anyway, this is called like a watercolor wash. We're going to do a watercolor wash over the whole thing. And it goes really fast. So if you didn't quite finish the actual crayon part, of course you're going to want to do that first. Finish the crayon part, and then you'll have time left over to do the watercolor wash because it goes really super duper fast. Now, before we close this out and go ahead and start, working at the tables, I feel I must mention something. I want you to look at the wings. See the wings? One wing looks much darker white than the other wing. Can you tell that? That one is much darker. Do you know why? This one, I didn't color as dark. I didn't color as dark on this one as I did on this one. This one I really pressed down and I really colored it very, very heavily. Like, you know what? That's our new word. Coloring heavily. This one was very light. And you can tell because the white doesn't show up very well. But this wing I colored very, very heavily. This is what I mean by that, okay? We have a little snake here. We have my crayons. I love this little, have y'all seen these little things? You put your crayons in there. It's just awesome. Anyway, so let's pick a color. I guess I'll pick, let's pick green. Let's pick green. And here's the thing. Coloring lightly, okay? This would be an example of light coloring. Okay, I'm not pressing down very hard at all. I'm getting everything colored in, and there's not very many white spaces, but I'm not pressing down very hard. This, like I said, is an example of lightly coloring. Okay, now let's go to an example of coloring heavily. I'm going to press down much harder. I'm going to press down much harder, and I'm going to color, same color. I didn't change colors. I'm just pressing down harder. I think when I say color it darker, I think we're getting confused. We're like getting a darker color, but we're still coloring very lightly. I don't want you to color lightly. I want you to color heavily. You're using the same color. You're just pressing down a little bit harder. See how much better this looks than that? This is what you want, especially because we're going to be doing the watercolor wash over top of the whole thing, okay? You want it to be heavy. I can't say dark. You want it to be heavier. So this is what we're doing today, and I would like for you now to go and have fun. Make sure it's heavily colored. Heavily colored. Yes, that is it. We are coloring heavily. We are coloring heavily. And then when it dries, you'll actually see that bumblebee pop right out. It's gonna be really cool. You keep going. All right. Now when you have a lot of water on there and you think, oh man, I may have put too much paint on there, Mr. P, what am I gonna do? Okay, grab this napkin. It's called dabbing it off. You can dab it off. Yeah, dab it off. Yes, just like that. Dab it off. Dab it off. Yeah, I like dab. Yeah, dab. This is my kind of dab. I don't know what that other dab doing, but this is my kind. This is what you do. Get the red side too. And you saw how wet that was, right? It's the wax still said, It said, no, buddy, we're not gonna let it. Get right here too. Get all the little wet little pot sides. Dab. Dab the face. There you go. The wax, even after how wet that paper was, the wax still protected that part of the paper. Look at that. That bumblebee has popped out like it's supposed to. Beautiful.